From Washington, this is VOA News. I'm David DeForest reporting 7 die in Indonesia terrorist strike. The Islamic State group is claiming responsibility for a series of attacks in an upscale neighborhood in Jakarta, Indonesia. The bomb and gun attacks left 7 people dead, including all 5 of the attackers. Foreigners were among 20 people wounded. Turkey's president says military operations will intensify against the Kurdish rebel group, the PKK, after it is blamed for a car bombing at a police headquarters. Dorian Jones reports.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdo is promising there'll be no end to military operations against the PKK until it's eradicated. Erdogan spoke in response to the bombing of the police headquarters Wednesday in the Diyarbakir province in Turkey's predominantly Kurdish southeast. The government blames the attack on the rebels. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoglu announced the army has carried out a sustained bombardment against Islamic State militant targets in Syria and Iraq in response to the suicide attack on foreign tourists Tuesday in Istanbul. Dorian Jones, Istanbul.
The World Health Organization has announced an end to the Ebola virus outbreak in Liberia, meaning all 3 countries at the epicenter of the West African outbreak are now considered Ebola-free. The WHO announcement came Thursday after 42 days without new reported cases in Liberia. A United Nations study released this week says the number of people migrating to foreign countries surged by 41% in the last 15 years. The study puts the number of migrants in 2015 at 244 million. Of those people, 20 million were refugees. The UN is planning a series of meetings to address migration. This is VOA News. The UN Secretary General is calling for an end to sieges on Syrian towns, warning all parties to the conflict that using starvation as a weapon is a war crime.
All sides, including Syrian government, which has the primary responsibility to protect Syrians, are committing this and other atrocious acts prohibited under international humanitarian law.
On Monday, aid agencies found people starving in the government-blockaded town of Madaya and in rebel-controlled towns of Fua and Kefraya. The International Committee of the Red Cross said Thursday another round of aid deliveries to those 3 towns appear to be going smoothly. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry have agreed to meet for talks on Syria and Ukraine Wednesday in Zurich. The Russian Foreign Ministry said the meeting was arranged after Presidents Vladimir Putin and Barack Obama spoke by telephone Wednesday. Officials in eastern Afghanistan say a U.S. drone strike Thursday killed Islamic State's top commander in the area, along with at least 11 other insurgents. The missile attack by an unmanned aircraft occurred in Achin, in a remote part of Nangarhar province, where the IS is believed to have set up its headquarters. U.S. military officials in Kabul confirmed an airstrike was launched, but said they were unable to determine whether Islamic State's local commander, Hafez Saeed Khan, was among the casualties. The survival epic The Revenant and the science fiction tale The Martian are among the top contenders for this year's Academy Awards, or Oscars, announced Thursday in Beverly Hills, California. Mike O'Sullivan reports.
The Revenant and The Martian are among the 8 nominees for Best Motion Picture, which also include Mad Max: Fury Road and Bridge of Spies. Contenders for Best Actor include Leonardo DiCaprio for The Revenant and Matt Damon for The Martian, Bryan Cranston for the Hollywood drama Trumbo, and Eddie Redmayne for The Danish Girl. Michael Fassbender is a nominee for his role as technology pioneer Steve Jobs in the film Steve Jobs. Best Actress nominees include Cate Blanchett for Carol and Jennifer Lawrence for Joy. Brie Larson is a nominee for Room. Mike O'Sullivan, Los Angeles.
The contentious race for the 2016 U.S. Republican presidential nomination heads to another debate Thursday. Billionaire real estate mogul Donald Trump is still leading national surveys of Republican voters, but Texas Senator Ted Cruz is edging closer. Some polls show Cruz actually leading Trump in the Midwestern state of Iowa. That's where party members will vote at caucuses on February 1st. In Washington, I'm Dave DeForest.
That's the latest world news from VOA.